here at the Ayala Center at the end of the month. We'll be sure to share the flyers with the community. Cup of Joe is just basically a community event that we host where people can gather and talk to the supervisor, and he'll provide with some updates that'll happen. So we'll be sure to share that with you guys, and if there's anything else you need, let us know. But any questions or anything you guys had for us? We are finalizing. I'm talking to Aaron about the finalizing, so it'll be the last week of June, and it'll be helpful because we'll be dark in July. So it'll give community members the opportunity to come and gather while we don't have the MAC, but leading close to it. So yeah, of course.
Thank you, Jessica. Moving along, we have state legislative update. Do we have anyone here from either Assembly Member Gomez Reyes or our senator in this area, which I believe is Norma Torres? Okay, seeing none, we'll move along to California Highway Patrol. Do we have anyone tonight from CHP? Okay, seeing none, move along to Code Enforcement. San Bernardino County Code.
Hello, everyone. My name is Moises Sanchez. I'm the Senior Code Enforcement Officer with San Bernardino County here in the Bloomington community. I just wanted to give everyone here our contact information. You can contact Code Enforcement by phone 909-884-4056. You can also email us, Code Enforcement Division at lus.sbcounty.gov, or you can visit us in our office. We are available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And our office location is 268 West Hospitality Lane, Suite 300 in San Bernardino. Just to let everyone know, I know there wasn't a meeting last month, so we didn't get to talk about the Earth Day that we had, but we did have the Earth Day event, and it was a success. We had quite a bit of cleanups, bins that were filled up with trash, tires, various things that often get dumped in the community. So it's better to have them just bring them to our bins, and we could take them straight to the dump. We also cleaned up the vacant lot behind the pilot. We were getting a lot of calls about homeless encampments and just trash and debris, and we got that all cleaned up. And obviously, it's an ongoing thing, so we continue to monitor that situation as well. And then this past Friday, actually, we worked with the deputies. We were able to tow a van from San Bernardino and Cedar Avenues that's constantly blocking the street and parking in the red curb, just creating a nuisance. And we were able to tow their van and get that taken care of. We continue to be out here. We're out here every day. We're responding to complaints, any calls we get. We check them out. We see if there's any existing violations. If there is, we pursue it with enforcement. We send the notices. If we have to send fines, we do that. But we try to work with owners and gain voluntary compliance. And we also have our illegal dumping program. So you often see our trucks and trailers. We were out here just last week. We're doing some cleanups again at the vacant lot behind the pilot where there was some illegal dumping. And we're picking up tires off 7th Street often. Wherever we find it, we stop and get it. And again, if you see anything, if you have any concerns, feel free to give us a call and reach out to us. Any questions?
Questions for Code Enforcement?
Well, actually, I was informed that there was different piles of trash by where the old Bloomington garage is, as well as the fire station. So
Yeah, on Commercial Road, right?
yes, Commercial Road.
We did see that. We're gonna get to it this weekend. We just didn't have the trucks available, but we'll get to it this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Also, somebody dumped off, I don't know if it's still there, yesterday when I was going by right there in Valley and Alder by Unique Auto in the liquor store, somebody dumped off probably about 8 tires on the sidewalk.
Unique Auto, you said?
Yes, off of Valley and Alder. So it's in between Unique Auto and that the liquor store that's right there.
All right, we'll get those.
Thank you.
No problem.
Is anything?
I just wanted to, although you guys have been doing, because I know we've been calling you a little bit, and you guys have been very responsive, and I just wanted to let the community know, like, they are readily available when, we've called. You guys have been arising. I know there's been a lot going on, and even like on the cleanup day, you guys did a fantastic job. There was so much. I don't even know how all that stuff got there. Like, there was such a various array of that lot. And, I just wanted to say thank you because, you guys have been really cleaning up the streets. We've been
Well, thank
noticing
you.
it. So
I
thank you for
appreciate
that.
Thank you.
One of the things that we've been working on that's kind of been left is we were having a monthly ad hoc meeting for code enforcement. And unfortunately, the time, which was I think 9 a.m. the Thursday before the meeting, it was a time where nobody seemed to be available. And I believe staff, we had talked about maybe making it a quarterly meeting. And I don't know if we've done any outreach yet as far as getting a time where, MAC members, a couple MAC members can actually be there on a regular basis, so we can continue our work in this area because it's so important. And so I don't know if Jessica, do you have anything on that or?
Yes, so we are looking into scheduling that quarterly meeting with our code enforcement. We'll go ahead and make sure to touch base with the individual MAC members that will be attending. And then just to touch base real quick on code enforcement, on the back of our agendas, we do have the C-Click Fix. So it is an app that you guys can download, all constituents can download and utilize it to also report things as well. It'll talk about debris, graffiti, things like that. Our staff does drive the community and ensures to report things ourselves as well. But we do encourage the public to also utilize it for also fast response time. You guys can also reach out to our office, to me personally, and as Guillermo said, to themselves as well.
Thank
For
you.
code enforcement, this way, anybody in the public have any general questions? If you have specifics, you need to take it up afterwards. But if you have a general question you'd like to ask about code, Roxanne, you have a question you'd like to ask code enforcement?
All right, we will check that out. Okay. Okay, we'll take that. We'll take a look. Any other questions?
Okay, if there's nothing else, then
All right.
thank you very much. Along Cold Joy Unified School District, I believe Board Member Fuentes, he contacted me a little earlier. He's planning on being here this evening, but he's running. Sorry. Oh, do we have another question? I'm sorry, I apologize. Okay, thank you for that. And so we'll move along from Cold Joy Unified to County Fire. Sam Deere County Fire, good evening.
Good evening. My name is Jet Schuster. I'm a fire captain of San Marino County Fire Protection District. I'm here to give you a little update on your local fire engine and fire station and what we have going on with the Protection District. Medic Engine 76 is your local fire engine, and since we last talked in March 6th, to current, they've run approximately 600 calls for service in the area. Many of these are multiple structure fires and a rail car fire. An update for Station 76 specifically, they have a fence program and some security lighting that they're finishing up right now that should be completed by tomorrow. Much needed in that area. I wanted to echo also with code enforcement we've noticed in the area, the fire station cleanup they've been doing. So kudos to you guys. Some updates on the fire department. We currently have a tower of about 40 firefighters that are hitting the floor in a couple weeks. They're going to be in the area in the community rotating through. Again, we talked about off camera that summertime is here and the weather started to increase. So we're seeing, I wanted to remind you guys, we're seeing a lot of water related calls for service. So a reminder, just when your children are out playing in the water, just keep an eye on them. It only takes a split second. Again, children in the car also, they become very hot quickly. So just a reminder for everybody in the community to keep an eye on that. And if you're exercising outdoors, please try and hydrate or pick a cooler time. Also, wildland season is amongst us. The annual grasses that are growing in the area in the fields that we're talking about have grown very quickly. So just be mindful of that. If they're on your property, please help us help you and trim those. And code enforcement can help you with some of those lots that you were speaking about. Lastly is just our website, sbcfire.org, or we do have an Instagram page, San Bernardino County Fire. It's at San Bernardino County Fire. A ton of resources on there. I'm available if you have any questions in the back of the room. Do you have any questions I can answer? No? Thank you very much for letting me share.
I've got a quick
Thank
one.
you.
I've got a quick one for you.
Yes.
Before you get away. So
Yes, sir.
we're coming up on the 4th of July.
Yes, sir.
And we've already seen, actually in my neighborhood, we had one very large fireworks display that was almost commercial grade a couple of weekends ago. Does County Fire, do they have anything in place to deal with illegal fireworks?
We
Any
have
specific? Can you
we
talk
have an
about that?
enforcement team, and which is under our fire marshals. We have an arson investigation team. So on the website, you can go on there and contact them, or if you call the local fire station and report an incident, or if you've noticed a lot of fireworks in the area before that happens, they would be able to come out and help you.
Okay, but you guys have a higher level of.
We have an arson investigation team that comes out and investigates that. They're very similar to law enforcement. Would be a good
Okay,
description.
but it's reactive. It's not proactive.
Well, prior to that, we're out in the field, specifically not to Bloomington, but out in the field, trying to get ahead of all those. Every year, annually, it's the same exact situation. So we're trying to get out ahead of it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much. Okay, moving along, Sergeant Ruiz and the Sheriff's Department. Good evening.
So I was wondering, on the back of this agenda, we don't actually have a contact for fire. Could we get that on there for the next one, please? The reason being too, also it is very important because sometimes we do look at the Bloomington pages and people are always like all about potholes or fireworks too. So thank you for that. Thank you guys.
Good evening, everyone. Sergeant Jose Ruiz from the Fontana Sheriff Station. I think I've seen a lot of you. There's a lot of new faces. Welcome. For us, it's been a busy month, but we say that every month. A lot of the cases I have 4 that I'm going to go over. Critical cases, very important. This morning we got up early, and have you guys ever heard of the So we knocked that out. Knocked that out this morning. We ran from the east side of Fontana all the way to Rancho Cucamonga and passed off the torch of hope to the deputies from Rancho, and they continued on towards Upland. So that's a good benefit for the Special Olympics, and we raised quite a bit of money for them. So let's get into business. These are all based off of press releases that we typed out. And these are all from North and South Bloomington. The first one I'm going to talk about This one initially started back in March of this year, March 12th at 3 in the morning. So at 3 in the morning on March 12th, this is what happened. The incident was a residential robbery, assault with a firearm, and conspiracy to commit a felony. That involved 3 suspects, 2 males and 1 female. This happened at the 18,000 block of Valley Boulevard in Bloomington. The people responsible for this crime were identified and arrested. They're identified as Marcos Guerrero, 48 years of age, resident of Glendora. Elijah Gafare, 35 years of age, resident of West Covina. And Cynthia Leal, 38 years of age, resident of Ontario. Victims were a male and a female business owners, innocent people. On Monday, March 12, 2024, at approximately 3 in the morning, both victims 1 and 2 were woken up from their sleep at gunpoint by 3 armed suspects. Victim 1, who was a male, was assaulted with a firearm and pistol whip. We looked at his injuries. We visited him the other day, and he has some severe injuries from when these people hit him with a pistol on the top of the head and split his head open. Victim 2, which was his wife, was held against her will while they dragged her husband to his desk. They took approximately $12,500 in cash. They took the video surveillance hard drive and the victim's truck. Victim 1 was able to call for help and was transported to local hospital, which was Kaiser in Fontana, where deputies were alerted. So they were so afraid that they didn't know how to report it, who to report it. And the mandated reporters, which were the medical staff, called us. Deputy Peraza went over there and talked to the victim. Peraza spoke to both victims and began her investigation. She obtained assistance from Detective Peterson and continued investigating this critical case. So remember, this was back in March. Somebody ever does that to any innocent victims over here, we're not going to forget, and we'll continue working on it just like we did with this. Through the course of the investigation, detectives positively identified the 3 that I mentioned. All 3 were responsible for the home invasion and assault with a firearm. Investigators authored arrest warrants and search warrants for various locations associated with the suspects. So what that means is figured out who they were, and we watched places that they were known to frequent. Once all that was in place, this is what we did. On Thursday, May 30th, a couple of days ago, at approximately 11:45 in the morning, members of the Sheriff's Specialized Enforcement Division, that's our SWAT team, Montana Station detectives, and the multiple enforcement team executed 2 search warrants simultaneously and located all 3 suspects. So that's a lot of work because we know where they're at and we can't hit one and then go to the other one because they're going to start making phone calls. So we hit 2 houses at the same time. Guerrero and Leal were located and arrested at an apartment located on the 1000 block of East Foothill Boulevard in the city of Glendora. Gafari was located at a residence on the 700 block of South Manzanita Drive in the city of West Covina. All 3 suspects were arrested for the above charges and booked at the West Valley Detention Center without further incident. So that's a lot of work. And like I said, if anybody victimizes anyone here, we're not going to stop. So these are convicted felons with a rap sheet a mile long. This case was so bad that we reached out to federal prosecutors. So we're trying to get them prosecuted federally so they won't be back out on the streets anytime soon. That's one. That's probably one of the most recent ones. Am I good on time or should I cut it? Good? Okay. This one happened the other night. So it kind of started off at a house here in Bloomington, and eventually this guy responsible, he found an open sliding glass door and made his way inside in the middle of the night. So this happened. This one was a couple of days ago on Sunday, June at 9:59 p.m. The incident was a robbery, assault with means likely to cause great bodily injury. So in this particular case, the victim was knocked to the ground and assaulted in her vital parts, head, upper body. Location was a 9300 block of Linden Avenue in Bloomington. The victim were two adult females. The suspect responsible for this was identified and arrested. He's Kevin Bañuelos, a 22-year-old resident of Rialto. Sunday, June 2nd, 2024 at 9:59 p.m., deputies from the Fontana station responded to a reported assault at the residence on the 9300 block of Linden Avenue in the unincorporated area of Bloomington. Through our investigation, deputies learned Kevin Bañuelos, a 22-year-old male resident of Rialto, was known to one of the two victims. Bañuelos entered the residence without permission, punched one of the victims while she was in her kitchen. This was an elderly Hispanic female, the victim. And he further assaulted her. Bañuelos forcefully stole property from a second victim with whom he struggled. The stolen property was later recovered. Bañuelos fled and was found at a residence in the 200 block of South Linden Avenue. And yet Bañuelos initially provided us with a false name, but was positively identified and arrested without further incident. So these are some pretty violent crimes, and that's just something for you guys to think about. Make sure your windows and your doors are locked. The last incident I want to talk about is one that happened on Sunday, June 3rd, a couple of days ago. This was a sexual assault. These are our pass down logs. A lot of this stuff is confidential. I'm going to read it and just kind of give you the general idea of what happened. This one in particular was on the 18,000 block of Orange Street in the city of Bloomington. The crime was a sexual assault, criminal threats, and a probation violation. Deputies responded to a report of a suspicious person at the above address. The reporting party reported a Hispanic male in a blue jacket who had a gun. On further investigation, the reporting party heard noise in the front yard and went to go check. He came across a subject, eventually identified as Adrian Flores, who's 36 years of age and a resident of Bloomington. Flores said he had a gun and motioned towards his pocket. A female came out of the residence and joined the initial person. Flores then grabbed the female victim between parts of her and sexually assaulted her. He fled and hid. Deputies got there, conducted a thorough search of the area. So this happened at 11:37 p.m. Around 1:31 a.m. the same day, we located him. He was trying to hide, and now he's currently in custody for these charges. So there's some other stuff, but that's kind of what we've been up to. And with the summer, it's starting to pick up for us. Getting back to the other stuff that we talked about with Moises and all his crew, those guys are hard workers. We work with them. Same thing with the county fire guys. We do a lot of stuff with them. So you guys are all in good hands. I want you to know that. You may not initially see it, but they're good agencies, and we have a relationship like that. The last thing I kind of want to talk about is you guys obviously already met my boss, our boss, Lieutenant B's back there. And then Deputy Nunez, who's the Bloomington deputy, but he's got a partner today. So she wants to come up here and introduce herself in case you guys see her over here in Bloomington.
Hi, everybody. My name is Deputy Sanchez. I've started my field training patrol here about a month ago. This is actually my second time patrolling. One of the things I've seen about this city I really like is always there's so much culture going on. There's so much going on. And the people here and the deputies are just like family. They try to help each other out and they work as hard as they can to keep our city safe. They're always proactive, and that's one of the things I want to pick up as a deputy. I have a great instructor here, Deputy Nunez. He's been helping me out to maintain this type of proactivity. Thank you.
Thank you. Sergeant Ruiz, you have some more to report, or?
Also, no, I just wanted to see if anybody had questions for us before we turn it over.
Thank you. Mac, you have any questions, or does the audience have any questions for Sergeant Ruiz?
Good?
In the first case, were the victims and the suspects, did they know each other?
No,
No?
no. There's a link, and there's still a lot of stuff. We kind of know how they got that information,
Mm-hmm.
but the three suspects, they didn't know the victims, and they were all masked up. They had a hoodie, mask, gloves, and all we had were surveillance tapes at the time. There's a lot of forms that we check into stuff, and we're pretty accurate. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Good? Okay, thank you.
Okay, Sergeant, a couple of things. Do we have any statistics available to see how we compare with our surrounding communities, how our crime rate is? And can you tell us, are we trending up or down or holding steady? Or can you elaborate on any of that? Or
Yes. So that's a good question. And it's good timing because our lieutenant was just going over some stats the other day. You want to go over that, sir? I'll tell you on the, getting back to the statistics, we average about 1,000 calls a month. Towards the summer, it's probably a little higher. We respond to all calls. We may not respond to all of them as quick as we'd like to because we're tied up on critical cases. But I'll give you this statistic. For us, investigating it and arresting the persons that are responsible, it's high. It's very high, which is good. That's the statistics you want. Here's our lieutenant.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here. Scott Teese, lieutenant from the Fontana Station. Some of the specific crime data that you asked about is actually going to be released soon with our department's overall crime statistic report. It takes a while to compile that. However, one of the statistics that is going to be coming out very soon relates to our number of adult bookings per year. And we're pretty proud of that because it shows a lot of the proactivity that our deputies are doing on a daily basis. Say, for instance, last year. Last year, we had a total of 904 adult bookings in our from our station. Now, that incorporates all of our different areas that we patrol, not just solely Bloomington. However, that was a 23% increase over the prior year, which was 737. So pretty phenomenal increases. Overall, compared to all of the county and contract city stations within San Bernardino County, we actually showed the biggest increase over all of them, which is pretty substantial because overall, a lot of our adult bookings, just overall for the entire department, are down for various different reasons. But with that being said, as Sergeant Ruiz had mentioned, a lot of those cases that he highlighted are incorporated into those statistics that we take each year. My hopes are I know we have a dark meeting in July, Perhaps in August, we'll have some of those other, they're called Part 1, Part 2 crimes, which basically break down into different categories. So crimes against persons versus property crimes. Hope to have some of those statistics for you, and I'll be able to probably at that point be able to let you know some of the comparisons to other years. Obviously, crimes are they're rampant everywhere. However, I should be able to get you some more specifics on the August meeting, hopefully.
The increase you spoke about, it would seem to be that would correlate with the fact that we were able to get funding for an additional sheriff's deputy in Bloomington. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, being able to staff somebody in Bloomington is pretty phenomenal. It affords us a lot of different opportunities also to be able to do the follow-up investigations that Sergeant Ruiz had talked about. Also, the ability to get those crimes in progress because we have somebody, stationed in that vicinity does tremendous for us. So, and we hope to continue as years go, continue to expand on that so we can further capitalize on more proactivity and keep the community safe.
And if we're able to obtain additional funding, how many, in your estimate, based on the crime rates in Bloomington and the population, uh, how many more sheriff's deputies do you feel would be appropriate for a community our size with this what goes on?
That's actually a great question. What I would prefer to do on that one is maybe look at further once those other statistics come out, so we can kind of see how it's going. Obviously, we want to be reasonable in terms of how much we ask for, but everybody helps. But I would like to maybe get together with Sergeant Ruiz and kind of develop a plan of like if we did have additional resources, how we could best allocate those, and we're using taxpayers' money responsibly, and we're coming up with results, which there's no doubt in my mind that our staff could do that.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, MAC members or public? Okay, seeing none. Oh, we got one. I'm sorry. Go ahead and ask.
Okay. That's actually a good question. Actually, Nunez, would you mind? What was the question then?
So I patrol those areas as much as I can. You might not notice my vehicle's been out of service, so the Bloomington unit is down there. I just got it back and it just went out. So again, if you don't see the Bloomington sticker and you see me, I do show up. I talk to everyone here that I can. I talked to Aaron about the guys riding the motorcycles and the quads around the area. We did stop someone, I think it was last week. We talked to them and everything like that. So we work with code enforcement, with a lot of various vendors routes that are in the area. But I am generally in that area a lot. Sometimes I get caught up in these high crimes where it takes me out of pocket. But as soon as I'm available, I go right back to where I need to be, which is that area. Okay. Like I said, we do patrol the areas. We have various shifts, different shifts. So obviously, I'm not there at night. But again, we have other shifts or other partners that are there patrolling the area. I know we have. We do have a lot of things working in play for the fireworks that are coming soon. Okay, so but we are in the area, man. So.
Let me just touch up on what he's talking about. We're there. There's a lot of undercover units that you don't see. Um, for the past couple of weeks, we've been doing a lot of search warrants, a lot of operations with gang members, a lot of houses where they sell drugs that are near schools. we've hit them and we've arrested them. We've recovered narcotics, guns, and we get it. We're there as much as we can. We were there yesterday. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Angela about an incident. Um, Getting back to the issue with the fireworks, obviously with the 4th of July coming up, we have a big problem with illegal fireworks because they're very powerful, and we're working with the additional deputies through special funding alongside with county fire. So we'll be out there, and if we catch them, they're going to get a gigantic fine. We're going to confiscate all the fireworks, and if it's an explosive, they can even face a felony charge for an explosive device. That kind of make you feel a little better, man. Little better, right? All right. Hey, once we get those funding, you're going to see cop cars on every street. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sheriff. Teresa, you got one?
Comment for you, and like the community. Sometimes you may not see them, or you may think they're not present, but as a person who calls them very often, they're very present. They're very present. They're very responsive, but it does take picking up the phone. Sometimes it's not the first time. Like I'll call them and I'll be like, "Hey, this is what's going on." Maybe they may not catch them the first time or the second time, but you know how they always say the squeaky wheel, So sometimes you just have to keep making those calls, and I know it can be a little bothersome, but like they gave us some good advice and told us, hey, keep making the calls because we still have to follow up on them. We still have to take care of those things, and for us, as I'm talking as a resident now, for us as a resident, we think, oh, well, my neighbor will call or somebody else will call. But the more calls, it will help them too. And, they'll be able to say, oh, sometimes we hear the fireworks and I'm like, I don't know, it's like 3 blocks behind me. It's somewhere over there. But if we can pinpoint and kind of maybe give them more direction, that's also helpful too.
So we're going to move on to Special Dip. Spear. Good evening, Aaron.
Always a tough follow to follow those guys. Bernardino County Sheriff, all their hard work and their diligence in the community. So we've had a lot of, in the last MAC meeting, Kessler Park is now a lockable facility. Started locking it. Knock on wood, no disturbances so far. So that's really good news. The park is in super shape. We're really proud of it. And the Little League had a phenomenal regular season, and we're getting ready to get their all-star season ready. And it's super exciting and fun to see how the park has turned out and how the community is treating it. We couldn't be more proud about that. We also have Wi-Fi in Kessler Park now. So now both Ayala and Kessler both have Wi-Fi. So if you're down there on your phone, it's a public Wi-Fi, but you're more than welcome to use it. We just adjusted on Memorial Day weekend to our new park times. We now start at 6 a.m. The gates are open in our parks, and they close at 10 p.m. And again, the good news is we haven't had to really call the sheriff yet to help us close it. So that's exciting. A few summer programs that we have coming up. We have a basketball camp at Bloomington High School. We're partnering with the head coach of Bloomington High School. He runs a youth basketball camp where your little ones can come Monday through that Friday. I can get the dates, but there's flyers back there. It's a week-long camp. It's a super fun camp, and that coach does an amazing job. So we're super excited about partnering with them. We also have our youth flag football program. It's a five-week program where they play 2 nights a week down at Kessler Park. We usually run that in November, but we're going to try it in August this year and see if we get a little bit better of a turnout. Co-ed softball. It's able for us. We're looking for teams right now. We're taking registrations for our Friday night co-ed softball league. And then, of course, in the fall, our youth soccer program, our biggest program, will be starting. So we're now taking registrations for that. Ayala Park Senior Nutrition continues to thrive. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, they have lunch here from 11:30 to 1. And they are averaging like 75, 80 now. And sometimes they're calling us in to bring in more tables and chairs on the fly. So it's not only is it an exciting and good program, but it seems that people are knowing about it and they're using the resources, and they're taking advantage of some good, they have a band on Wednesday and Fridays, and they're taking advantage of some good entertainment. So it's a good thing. Micro soccer, we just finished our 40-kid youth micro soccer program out there, children 4, 5, 6, and 7. It's like a starter program, and it's a good thing to do for out here on this side for the folks that don't play baseball. Upcoming, we have we have a movie in the park program starting in July. We're calling it Throwback Thursdays. We're showing three movies this summer: National Treasure, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and Selena. We're still offering dance and cheerleading as well. And then I'm excited about this, but I don't have as much information on it yet other than the date. We will be having Ayala Park's first concert in the park on Friday, August 16th. We're going to be partnering with the Olive Branch. We're just finalizing the details, but we're super excited to get a concert series going here, and we think that this will be a good starting point and jumping off point to get that where we want to be. Lastly, it'll be a short turnaround when we have the next MAC meeting, but August 6th is National Night Out, also here at Ayala Park. The more the merrier with that. It's such a good program that the Fontana Sheriff puts on with the 5th District and ourselves, and it's a great community event. And we are excited that it's already, we can't believe it's been a year already, but we're excited it's that time of year again for that. So, but I'll have more information about that at the next MAC meeting. With that, any questions? Awesome.
And our next MAC meeting is actually the day after, just so you know.
Bummer.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. Last but not least, we have West Valley Water District. I don't see a representative here from West Valley. So we'll move along to our informational presentations. First one is the Bloomington Roadwork Improvement Project. Bob Basuto. Bob, good evening.
Hello, everyone. We have a slide presentation for you. There we go. Thank you. I'm Bob with the Bloomington Roadwork Project, and I'm here to give you an update. So get the second slide. Oh, here we go. This project basically is doing some roadwork enhancements on Europa, Linden, 11th, Locust, and Armstrong. And basically what we're doing is we're upgrading the roads, adding walking and horse trails, adding traffic lights, and also improving the stormwater system there. So we're going to basically putting in miles and miles of underground storm lines. That's going to help improve that situation quite a bit. As you can see, the sidewalks we're adding along Locust and Armstrong, and there's also walking trails and horse trails. And like I mentioned, the storm drains were also going to be added. 11th Street, if you're on that street, it's partially closed. We're working on it right now for this about a next month. It's the homeowners can access their houses, but one side of the street, the side that there's no houses on, actually is being taken up by our improvement. And so the shoulder's temporarily closed. We are going to close Locust between Europa and Armstrong next week. It's going to be completely closed because we've done all the work we can do on partial closures. I don't know if you've ever taken that, but about the last month or so, we've been putting in water lines and everything we can do without closing the street. And now we're to the point where we have to finish to upgrade the street itself and add some big storm drain lines, and we can't do that without closing the whole street. Part of that, when it's all done, it's going to be like much wider, obviously, and have traffic signals, and it's going to be quite a big upgrade to that street. So just to summarize, we're working on 11th now. We're going to be closing Locust on next week. And when it's all done, you're going to have a nice, wide, beautiful street with curbs and gutters to handle all the rainfall that's coming. If you have any questions, you can talk to me after. I can address them now. There's phone numbers for you to call. We want to make sure that everyone is kind of aware of what we're doing. We sent out letters, I think, a couple of days ago to all the local residents to kind of update them. Does anyone have any questions?
Questions from the back members or the public? Okay. Bob, you talked about trails. Can you describe what those trails are going to be like? Are those going to be equestrian trails or walking trails or
Both.
either?
Both.
Both.
One of the slides, I had it up there, shows, I can't go backwards for some reason, I don't know. But here we go. So if you can see, past it. There you go. So there's the trails, there's a sidewalk, and then there's the walking or horse trail with the railings.
Okay, so that's going to be similar. They have a very similar thing in Europa Valley, south of us with split rail fencing. Is that going to be the look, the rustic?
Yes.
West? Okay,
Yes.
very good.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Bob. Moving along, our next presentation is from Bloomington Speaks. It's an informational presentation from Fernanda Durazo. Fernanda? Good evening.
Hello, how are you? All right, so I did have a slide presentation. All right, so I'm here to talk about Bloomington Speaks, which is a community art day event that we're having at Zimmerman Elementary. It's going to be June 15th, so this coming Saturday. Super excited. We're trying to get, community at the elementary school. So we will have a shipping container art exhibit, which will have photography by Miguel Munoz and myself, along with historical images that I pulled from the California room over at San Bernardino Library. And so we're going to have other artists such as Kenya Cruz. I will talk about her later. And so I'm just going to translate really quick. So vamos a tener una exhibición de arte en un contenedor de envío. Va a tener fotografía tomada por Miguel Muñoz y Fernanda, que soy yo. Y tendremos fotos históricas de Bloomington, que son de las las agarré de la librería de San Bernardino. Y también estamos buscando más artistas de Bloomington, pero también incluyendo fotos viejas que la comunidad a lo mejor tenga. So we're looking for also any historical images that the community might have that's not necessarily in the archives of the library. We're looking for family photos that anyone might have. So we're trying to exhibit those as well to tell, the people's history of Bloomington. Next slide, please. And so one of the activities that we're having is a charro performance by the Ortiz family. Their Instagram is Los Charritos de Bloomington. And so they're going to do a demonstration, charro performance, kind of like dance. And so, yeah, I'm excited. They're also residents of Bloomington. Next slide, please. As far as activities, we're also going to have face painting, local. Thank you. So we're gonna have face painting by a local student from Cal State San Bernardino. This is all going to be free. We're gonna have coloring pages for the kids, anyone really, and let's see. So vamos a tener pintura facial para los niños o quien quiera. Y también tendremos páginas para colorar para los niños o los adultos, quien sea. Okay. So activities continued. I came to talk about this project at the beginning of this year. And it was to talk about the boxes that we've been sharing, distributing to the community. We had free cardboard boxes for everyone, and I've been sharing it with the churches and the schools. And I have a lot of boxes now that are decorated kind of like this. And so the idea is to make kind of like a sculpture, not like that exactly, but we're still trying to determine how exactly we're going to place the box. But yeah, and then también una actividad que vamos a tener en el evento va a ser una escultura comunitaria hecha de cajas de cartón que hemos distribuido por la comunidad. Y el último día para dejar las cajas, si alguna persona todavía tiene una caja, será el lunes 10, que es la próxima semana. So some people still have boxes. I'm still waiting for people to bring them back. But the last day, we're at Kessler Park every other Monday, and the last Monday we're gonna be there for drop off. Box drop off is June 10th at Kessler Park. So yeah, super excited about that. We're also gonna have a printmaking demo by Kenya Cruz. So she's also a Bloomington resident. She's a current student at Cal State San Bernardino. She's a printmaker, artist. Her work is she kind of discusses a lot of animals in her work. So I'm excited to see that. So we're also trying to look for tabling organizations. We have a couple. We're looking for preferably nonprofit organizations to, share their community, share what they're doing. We have a couple organizations that are planning on showing up. And yeah, I'm excited for that. If you have anyone that you think would be a good fit for the event, please send them this email. We're still looking for more. The more, the better. We're going to have food as well. We have a local coffee vendor. Their name is 97 Coffee. Really good as well. So I'm excited for that. We're going to have local vendors, the palotero, the food stands, the eloteros as well. Along with everything, we also will have plain boxes for anyone that has not decorated one yet and is interested. So this was back in May 25th. We had a box decorating day here. And we had a pretty good turnout. We got like 10 boxes out, and people were decorating, painting, and it was really fun. All right, so we might have an RSVP just to plan for just to have an idea of how many people want to show up. We still have details to figure out about that. And so, yeah, that's my presentation. Any questions from the community or the MAC members? ¿Alguna pregunta?
Any questions from the MAC for Fernanda?
So on the, excuse me, on the boxes, how are they able to, what are you looking for them to decorate on the boxes?
So we did ask them to kind of depict their experience living in Bloomington. A lot of them have depicted sort of horses, open land. So that's kind of what I've seen from what people have painted on there. But it could be like, if you're not from Bloomington, it could be, your experience living in BIE, any way you want to, show that. It could be photographs, painting, poems, I don't know, historical images. So that's what I've seen so far.
And then the pictures that you're asking, the pictures that you're asking, like from the, that you mentioned, like family photos, what are you just seeing them, or is there a purpose? I mean, I'm just saying because, if I were somebody that's going to give up my picture, I'm going to be like, what are you going to do with it?
Right, yeah. So we're scanning them actually and then printing them and make them bigger. So I am returning them almost immediately. I have a couple right now actually that I still need to scan, but we're planning on just printing them a little bigger and sort of, with people, kind of like a history behind that person, living in Bloomington and all that.
So are you looking just for family photos, or are you looking for like photos of like the progression of Bloomington, as the years have gone by, this building and what it looked like 20 years ago or stuff like that?
That could be good too. It doesn't have to be family pictures. Because when I did go to the library and looking for archival stuff, I did not find that much. So I'm guessing that the community must have something that the library or county doesn't have. So this is sort of us trying to find the history through the people. Just trying to figure out the people's history, basically.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Does the public have any questions for Fernanda? Okay, seeing none, I have a couple quick ones for you. On the one page, you talked about tabling organizations and to send an email to Bloomington Public Art Project at Gmail.
Yes, I did.
Okay, and then on the back, you have another page where it says event RSVP. Now, do people have to RSVP to attend this event, or is that for if they want to be involved in certain functions or?
That was more for us to have an idea of how many people are planning on coming, but it's not a requirement. It was just mostly for us to send out more information if we needed to. But we still have to make the form, the RSVP form. So we might scratch that, but yeah.
Okay, so everyone's welcome. They don't have to RSVP
Yes.
to attend or anything.
Yeah, you don't
Okay.
have to. Anyone is welcome.
And if they want to participate, then they should contact you at Bloomington Public Arts Project at gmail.com. Is that correct? Or if they want to be a food vendor or do anything else?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Very good. Any other questions? Sounds like a lot of fun.
I actually have one more question. Will you be putting the information out on the Bloomington pages, like some of the, like Bloomington, California news, or like that information out there?
Like flyers.
Like on Facebook, like like an update? Because you said, like, I know you still have details to work out. Is this like time frame? Is it set in stone? Like from 4 to 7?
Yes. Yeah.
And okay.
I actually do have some flyers actually. If they're in the back, So that has all the set details. It's from 4 to 7 Saturday. And yeah, and then there's actually also another event happening that same day at Kessler Park. It's like a screening for music videos that Anne Kaneko has put together, so that'll be really cool. So it's from that next event will be from 7:30 to 9:30. So yeah, it'll be like a block party kind of, but not really. Just lots of art happening the same day. So yeah, I'm excited.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Okay,
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
Go ahead. I'm sorry,
Oh,
Fernanda.
sorry, no, go ahead.
So, okay, just to summarize, Saturday, June 15th, 4 to 7 p.m. at Zimmerman Elementary. Bloomington Speaks and the community event. So, Fernando, thank you for bringing that to us. Appreciate it. And good luck on your event.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
letting me speak. Yeah.
Okay, our next presentation is the Kessler Park Master Plan. Aaron Spear is back.
Moving.
Okay, I have a PowerPoint presentation to present to you guys. Just a couple of things. I get to work in parks, so a lot of that means I get to have fun a lot. I get to work with the community, get to do a lot of fun things. But right now, in our current time here in Bloomington, it's even more fun. We're building a lot. We're adding new. It's really exciting, and it's so exciting that we wanted to take a moment tonight to share it with you, and to maybe down the road when you're driving or you're in our parks, that you see me, you can come up to me and go, hey, you ever thought about this? Or, hey, this is what I noticed in your park, and I'd like to know about this. For those of you who don't know, this is Bloomington Recreation and Park District, and we are open Monday through Friday, and I have an email and a phone number, and if you guys have questions about our parks or concerns or just want to tell us how awesome they are, you can get a hold. And we would love to talk to you. And basically that's what we're tonight is really a sharing deal. We want to share with you all the exciting stuff that we're doing. But if you look in our parks, both here at Ayala and Kessler, we have signs that say, see something, and we really mean that. So if you're in our parks and you see that something's not right or something's wrong, or if you just want to say, hey, that's awesome, I love that, feel free to give us. We do. Okay, so I won't be too long, but we have a presentation here to discuss what's actually happening in our parks. And I'd like to give you a quick recap what we've done in the last year, which is a lot. As I spoke about in my report, Kessler Park has brand new wrought iron switchback fencing all around the park. And what that does is that allows us to lock the park at night and keeps it from being vandalized for the most part. And it allows the users to use it in a safe environment. So super excited about that. The fences are beautiful. They're blue. You can't miss them. It's really made Kessler Park more alive. It's super exciting. We've upgraded the snack bar and the bathrooms. The snack bar that's mainly run by the Bloomington Little League has more space. They have air conditioning, a better opportunity to serve their families when they host their baseball events, and clean and safe bathrooms too, which we are extremely proud of. Down at Kessler Park in our new corridor area, we have concrete all throughout with new picnic shelters, picnic tables that are on the way, new just places to, when you're out there recreating, for you to settle and sit and enjoy your family or your son or your grandson or granddaughter or your daughter. Enjoy the ball game, but not with the sun beating down you, with some shade, not with the dust flying in your face. There's plenty of new viewing areas, which are spectacular down at Kessler Park. And we also added a wiffle ball plaza, which is made out of pavers. And the kids already decided that that's what they were going to do years ago, is play wiffle ball there. Now we just made the field for them out of pavers, and it's kind of a fun addition to the park. We have new electrical all throughout the park in our batting cages and on field 3 and 4 that's been installed. We have new scoring booth platforms at fields 1, 3, and 4, so that when there's baseball games down there, the score can be kept at a higher level and more efficiently. We now have a Linden Easton trash closure, which that's more of an operational thing, but there's not just a set of dumpsters on the Harupa side now. There's now a whole nother enclosure inside. And for the folks that operate in our parks, such as Bloomington Little League and Olive Branch, that gives us more opportunity to keep our parks clean and not trash laying around. So that's exciting. We have new beautiful blue trash cans and green waste trash cans in our parks, and about 25 that we've just added, and we're looking to add more. So again, we're super proud of that. We've made tremendous field 1 on our the field that's dedicated to Gary Mendoza. To me, it's the nicest looking field in the Inland Empire, but I'm a little biased. But we continue to strive to make that the center stone of our park, and we are certainly proud of it. We've added tons of new turf areas all throughout the property within Kessler Park. More in the past, some of the areas were dirt, and folks had to sit in the dirt. Well, now we're sitting in grass, so it should be a much more pleasant experience when you're down there watching a ball game. Okay, now to what's coming. This is the current master plan for Ayala Park, and a couple of exciting things that are going to be happening here. It's funny because the park is new, and we were this close when we built it the first time to getting it to the Platinum Park, and we were one item short, and now that one item, I'm proud to say, is going to be here. Starting next year, you're going to see construction at the top of the park there, and we'll be adding a nice, beautiful splash pad. It's going to go just up in number 11 right there in the center of the grass. It's going to be a great place for kids to, in the summertime, to run through the water, play in the water, and it'll be a great cooling off option for the people that use Ayala Park, and we are super excited about it. And I think I've got a picture here somewhere. So that's a more going to look like with new sidewalks, new shower facility. Come back. Okay. That's what you're going to see at the top of the park. And if the Mac, if you can, oh, you got it in right front. Sorry. So, yeah. So we're super. It looks like a lot of fun. I don't know about you guys, but I want to go out there right now. Okay. Next, you'll see down in the southwest corner of the park, which construction actually, this project actually starts next week. We are adding a community garden. That one of the, well, it's going to be for the community, but one of the users is going to be our Girl Scouts program here. Again, another thing that just nothing but fun here. It's exciting, and we are looking forward to this, and this will be done this summer. So kind of excited, and the Girl Scouts will be able to use it. It's a small area in the corner by the teen playground. It'll have DG, and then it'll have all kinds of new elevated boxes for the community to grow and to learn and to take pride in their park. We hope that that's what it looks like when it finishes. So again, it'll be new fencing, key pathways, and then plenty of garden and planting boxes. So. It's a smaller one. it's still in the design phase, but when we built Ayala Park a few years back, we put a beautiful Veterans Memorial that was actually at old Ayala Park. We took the actual plates, we had them professionally cleaned, and then we had them reinstalled here in our new monument. The only problem with that is some of the veterans have a hard time getting around. And the idea is that maybe we could put something in the center turnstile. And so we're going to be putting a veterans memorial in there, a monument. And like I said, it's still in design phase. But when you come into Ayala Park now, if you have a veteran and they can't move around as well, you will get to go down the parking lot and view it from your car and then be able to whip around and go out. So it's super cool for veterans that can't move as easy and can't get to the interior of our park. Okay. Also, starting this August at Kessler Park, talk about our master plan down there. This is, again, fun and exciting. We are taking Field 2 and demolishing it, and we are rebuilding what is called the Kessler Park Dream Field. It's going to have a big blue monster that they're calling it in field. It's going to replicate the green monster in Boston, if you know your baseball. It's going to have all brand new artificial turf in the entire, with being level and drainaged. I don't know if you've ever been on Field 2, but it's not level and it doesn't have good drainage. So it's going to have brand new fencing, brand new dugouts, beautiful big league dream type decoration to it. It's a brand new scoreboard, new foul poles, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be state of the art. So there's a couple in the Inland Empire that are Dodger dream fields, which this is kind of is going to align itself with. And who knows, maybe the Dodgers will jump in with us and maybe it will be a Dodger dream field. So, fingers crossed. So, I hope to have some more to speak about that in the coming MAC meetings. So yes, right now, again, it'll be another summer of construction at Kessler Park, but it's good construction. It's going to be fun. And then by next year, we'll have a brand new, beautiful state-of-the-art baseball field. And we're already proud, as you can tell, of our 4 ball field conflicts, but this is really going to set the tone moving forward for our park, and we're super excited. So when doing all this, the supervisor's office and the county, who have been monumental in getting this stuff for us here in the community of Bloomington, we all came together and decided, well, we need a master plan. So right after this project, there's not a timeline, but there is a plan to redo the entire park. So after Dreamfield, one of the problems, and if you've been to Kessler Park, or if you've been to a Saturday baseball game, or if you've been to Halloween at Kessler Park, or any one of the things that goes on down there, is parking is always the issue. Always been an issue. We've had people parking where there used to be houses on the other side of Harupa, and kids crossing the street. It's always been a fear of mine, because the last thing I want to do is see a kid get hurt, not only entering our park but in it. And the first thing that we would like to do in phase 1 is we would like to relocate the playground and connect the Linden and Harupa parking lot and create about, I want to say it's 50, 60 new spots will be within Kessler Park. And you don't have to, mothers and fathers in the Bloomington Little League will really appreciate this, is if they thought they had a practice on field 4, and they go, oh no, I got moved over to field 2. They don't have to go out down Harupa over to Linden and cross. Now they can just park and either walk around or they can go to the other side without having to get back on the busy road. And I know that's a thing because my wife struggles with that, and I have to hold the phone out here. You said field 2, so now that you can just sorry, I coach in the league, so I'm learning my own faults here. So you can just drive to the other parking lot now without having to worry about the traffic that typically runs on Harupa and Linden, which is a lot. So, like I said, we will be relocating the new playground. When I say relocate, the actual space area of the playground, but it'll be a brand new state-of-the-art playground, much like you see here with shade coverings, so the kids won't have to play in the heat and they won't get burned, and they'll have some shaded areas to recreate. The East End bathroom, it's the black eye of Kessler Park, and I'm not afraid to admit that. And that is going to get a huge renovation, and it'll be to where people that aren't using the bathroom and are using it for other things can lock themselves in there at this point. Won't be able to do that moving forward because it'll be a multi-use or multi-stall bathrooms, and it'll be more like your traditional park bathroom where you can just go in there and get out. And not right now, unfortunately, if the door's locked, you can't get in, and it just creates all kinds of problems. So a brand new upgraded bathroom that we're really excited about. If you see down here in the southeast corner, we currently have a basketball court there. I actually forgot to mention this. That basketball court is getting lighting, Musco lighting that's going to shine just like the one here. So kids will be able to play after dark. That court's already heavily used anyway, and so I can imagine it'll look a lot like this one moving forward. And the lighting project for that is actually starting right now during the Dreamfield stage. So I forgot to mention that. And with that being said, we will be relocating the skate park at a further point down the road, and we are going to be adding what is called 2 indoor soccer fields, which the correct term for soccer is futsal. It's if you know how fast the rise was for pickleball, this is kind of the same thing. It's the fastest growing thing that kids are doing within soccer now. When they're playing smaller versions of soccer, it's like pickup soccer. Only they actually have leagues and stuff, and it's kind of like arena soccer in a court, and it's played on several different types of surfaces. But we'll have 2 very nice futsal courts. And if you can see around the entire park, there will be a walking track that will wrap around the entire park. Right now, we have a lot of walkers, but we have a lot of walkers that have to, once they get closer to the edges, it's not so ideal to walk. Well, we're going to change that. You're going to have the walk around the entire park, and you're going to know how far you walked. We will have signs saying, you are here. When you get back, this is, you will know. So I know your Fitbit tells, but we're going to give you that little extra visual touch. So we're looking for fields 3 and 4. Right now, it's beautiful grass, and it is beautiful. The grass is growing. Our maintenance guys do an amazing job, and the grass is great. But that will be a multi-use sports area with artificial turf throughout. Should cut down on water and maintenance, and we're super excited about that. Parks tend to be hesitant about that stuff because in artificial turf it has different opinions about, it could be hot. Well, the technology's gotten better, and it's gotten to be to where it's more positives than there is negatives, and it would be a huge win for that, and that would as an addition to our park district and within Kessler Park, the maintenance factor would go down amazingly. So. Sorry, moving. Okay, so I touched on Dreamfield. I touched on lights for the new basketball court. Futsal will be new picnic shelters will be added behind Dreamfield. And right now there's the dog park. That is also with the skate park looking to be relocated in a different phase. Adding a paved road down the backside that separates the arena and or we call the west end. And that'll be where hopefully we get our maintenance barn, and we'll have some other features back there that we're still working on. This thing's not. There's another look at the dream field picture, pretty close to what it's going to look like. You'll see the shade that runs along the outside for the viewing areas, the new dugouts, more new concrete. So see if I missed anything else, and where this thing has a minor. So yeah, we're going to be, or like I said, and you'll see very soon in the near future here, you're going to see these brand new, beautiful concrete picnic tables that are on their way. They'll be installed. We're super excited about that. There's going to be a lot more shade within the plaza or corridor, or whatever you call it, of Kessler Park. We're going to be adding some new trees. The walking trail is going to be not only is it very much needed, but Kessler Park. And, here is great walking, but you have to do a couple laps before you get to your goal. There, I think if you do one or two, I think you're in pretty good shape. So, okay, I think unless you guys have any questions, yes. Yeah, the two parking lots will meet at the corner of Linden and Harupa. Yeah, it's being relocated. Yeah. Nothing's happening to the olive branch, I can assure you. It's not staying in its original spot, but the olive branch will have a new home within Kessler Park in phase 1. Yeah, if you can get in, if there's someone that you want to get me in touch with, I would love to talk to them. And that's kind of where I open this up at, is like, if you guys have ideas, it's your community, it's your park, right? If you guys have ideas, or if you feel that there's a need, by all means, please get a hold of me. And and we would love that. So yeah, if you have, like I said, if there's an agency that you think that could utilize our parks and it provides, safe and positive activities, yeah, we're in. We'll definitely look into it and see what we can do to help. Okay.
One more, Fernanda.
It's going to be completely redone. It won't be in phase one, but it's being yes, it's being moved and relocated. But not the same park. From my understanding, there's a horse trail that's being installed on Harupa, and then of course there will be the equestrian area, but I don't see it wrapping around the entire park. Just logistically, there's issues with that, but there will be trails for horses to get safely from, say, the neighborhood down the horse trail. I don't know if address that in some of his other presentations, that there will be stuff for Harupa there.
Right, Aaron, nothing else? Thank you very much. I appreciate the...
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, before we move along to approval of minutes, I know Board Member Fuentes came from a long distance. Do you have anything you'd like to say on behalf of Colton Joint Unified?
Thank you, Board Vice Chair, and ladies. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Israel Fuentes. I'm a board member with Colton Joint Unified School District. Just wanted to share a couple things that are going on during the summer. As many of you know, school ended on Monday, June 3rd, was the last day of school. And the first day of school actually will be back in August. August 1st will be the first day back in school. Just wanted to share our summer meals program that we have going on for this year. The Colton Joint Unified School District Summer Meals Brochure List community meals service hours, allowing any child under the age of 18 years of age to receive free meals at specified locations. Enrollment in Colton Joint Unified School District or any summer program is not required. So that means any child come to any of these locations. If you have primos, primas that are visiting from Mexico, they can also eat any of the meals from there. So it's an opportunity for that. Please note that the meals times for students brochure. So I have a brochure that I have posted on my social media, Israel. You can go on Instagram and look up, I think it's also under 7Izzy5. You can look it up also, and I will be sending this to Supervisor Baca's office also, so that they have that and they can probably post it on the website. But just to give you a few ideas, a few locations here, there is going to be a QR code there that kind of gives you all the times, and the times are different. According to this, it said it didn't have the times, but it does have the times. For example, in the in the Bloomington area, we have Grimes Elementary School, and they will be serving breakfast at 8:15 to 8:30, lunch at 10:15 to 10:30. Another schools in Bloomington will be Smith Elementary, Lewis Elementary, and the middle schools also will be serving Joe Baca Middle, Ruth O. Harris Middle, and their times are 9:20 to 9:35 a.m. So if you live in South Bloomington, it doesn't matter if you go to the middle school or not. You can take your elementary school kids there also, and they can also get a meal. 9:20 to 9:30 is breakfast. Lunch will be 11:15 to 11:25. So you can go to lunch, stick around, have fun, play in the playground there or whatever, and stick around for lunch and have a meal there. So there's many locations. Other locations, Bloomington High School. Bloomington High School will be from 8:20 to 8:35 for breakfast, and lunch will be 11:15 to 11:30. So if you're in the Colton area, if you're listening, the Gonzalez Center will also have meals available, and Vision Community Day School will have meals available, and those times are in the Gonzalez Center in Colton is 8:45 to 9:30 a.m., and lunch will be 10:45 to 11:30, and breakfast at the Visions Community Day School, breakfast will be at 8:30 and from 8:30 to 8:40, and you can pick up your lunch and just kind of stick around, and lunch will be at 11:45 to 11:55. So there'll be different times for you and different opportunities for you to go to some of our schools. Most of our schools, most of our elementary schools in Colton, Bloomington, the Rialto area, and Fontana will be serving breakfast and lunch. So if you'd like I said, I'll be sending this out to Supervisor Baca's office. And if you want to go onto my page, Israel Fuentes, it's just like it